Check this out.
Welcome to BLPA Big Show. Hockey sports, life for the adult athlete. Yeah. Powered by the Beer League Players Association.
Better follow me.
Follow us, the BLPA, on every social media outlet. Follow the crew on Twitter at Nicker Jones.
Let's get it. Here we go.
Welcome to the greatest sports show in the world. Good week, everybody. Glad to have you with us here on our post-Buffalo Draft Experience recap show leading into the next week. We'll be in Columbus. I got my good buddy Jason with me. Jason, what's going on?
What's going on, Nikki?
Just home for little dude's first day of kindergarten, and then back on the road again tomorrow, heading to Columbus. Going to hang with a bunch of buttes out there. Super stoked about that. I gotta get in House of the Dragons tonight.
Okay,
Is that
I already watched it.
Oh, was it a good one?
I'm just going to leave it. I don't want to give you anything.
Yeah, don't. I just want to
watch it.
I just want to know if it's good or bad.
It was good.
Okay.
It was good.
And then I also I got into the little Lord of the Rings thing last night. Started watching a bit of that. A little confused on this one, but I don't know everything, right? So I'm gonna keep going. Before we get too far into this, why don't you tell folks where they can find us on the interwebs?
Okay, they can find the BLPA literally anywhere social media exists at the BLPA. Then they can find you at Nicker Jones, as your tagline there says, on Twitter, and the Nicker Jones on Instagram. And they can only find me on Twitter, and that's at Beer League Jason.
I wonder if I'm ever going to get Nicker Jones from that old boy that hasn't used it since 2012. Even though I've had that screen name literally since 1999. So this old boy jumps on the Instagram bandwagon. I mean, I was getting old when Instagram came, so I was late to the party, and he jumps on. I have the email addresses: nickerjones at Yahoo, nickerjones at Gmail, AOL, Nicker Jones, AOL. That's me. That was my screen name, and here I am. Can't get Instagram. Got it everywhere else, just not Instagram. And I can't. I've offered to pay
tragedy,
people.
really.
I've offered to pay people to hack them. I'm like, just hack. Someone hack the motherfucker. What's it going to cost for you to hack this motherfucker? Steal his password. Say you're the Prince of Nigeria and you got $50 million. Get a fucking worm on his computer and let's get that shit in there. If anyone knows how to do that, that's watching this, I will pay tens of dollars to make this happen. Tens.
That's multiple tens.
Multiples.
And luckily for you, I had to give you $10 back this week, so that can go into the pot.
Yeah, well, I was betting all willy-nilly with my money because no one was hacking this boy for me. So I decided, well, you know what, I'll try to double this bad boy up. We'll talk about that bet, which, some people have told me was kind of shitty. I don't believe it as such, but we'll talk about that. Before we start talking about our predictions, which always right. I would be remiss in my duties as the commissioner of the BLPA and the host of the greatest BLPA show in the history of the BLPA Big Show, if I didn't tell you that this show, the only sponsored show in the BLPA, brought to you by HockeyWolf.com. Ow, 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 ow. HockeyWolf.com, beer leaguers just like you, just like me, and they're trying to make the game more affordable for us. That's just what they're trying to do. And so if you need team gear, if you need individual gear, if you need team clothing, team merch, they got you. They even got some BLPA stuff. And most importantly, they got the state gloves. So when you come play on a decks and you want to represent the state you're playing in, you can buy these gloves and wear them proudly and then put them on a mantle, I guess, until the next year when you come to that state.
Yeah, that's it.
Right?
Let's do it. Yeah.
So that's them. HockeyWolf.com. Ow, 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 ow.
Ow, 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 ow.
So let's talk about Buffalo.
All right.
I love chicken wings. I'm gonna let you know. I just love them. There's just people can say, listen. I used to say, why do people smoke? If smoking's gonna kill you, why would you do it? Or if you're gonna overdose, on heroin, and it's gonna kill you, but why do you do it? And if someone said, hey, you eat another pound of them chicken wings, you're gonna die. I'm gonna eat the chicken wings.
You gotta go.
I'm just going to do it. And so, so here we go. We already got a chirper in here, Jason Walsh, giving us a thumbs down. It's okay. You can love us. You can love us and support us, or you can hate us and support us. Whichever one you want to do. Just, hey, hit the like, hit the hate. I don't care. Bump it up. It doesn't bother us, bud. So here, right back at you. I mean, I just think that Buffalo, the mecca of chicken wings. So what we did is we went out there, we did a draft experience there, and it was the battle of the wings. We found the best wings in Buffalo, the best 6, and we made jerseys. There was Bar Bill, B-Dubs, as you can see Jason wearing his B-Dubs jersey, Duff's, Dwyer's, Anchor Bar, and Gabe's Gate. And then we said, you know what? The winner of this tournament is going to be the deciding factor. Like, everyone always wants to argue. Let's settle it on the ice, like hockey players. And we did. We found out who the best wing in Buffalo is by playing hockey in their jerseys. And the answer is going to surprise you. It's not going to surprise me. All right, because I've been saying it forever. Yeah. I've been saying it. I just want to shout out to the people in the chat. Hey, Trev. Hey, John. Andre. That's how you pronounce his name. We might as well call him Jeff Andre now, the new Jeff Peck. Ring around material right there. Always putting up points, and that's him right there. But nonetheless, so we battled it out, and we're going to talk about that. Yeah. We made these predictions, and let's just go over these predictions before we talk about where we're going to be next week, and then we'll get into who won. I mean, we're always right. Never been a time we haven't been right. You guys should trust our judgment like it's the word of God, basically. Yeah. Any God. Yeah, I know, not Christian God, not Islamic God, just God in general. Yeah. God of gods. Yeah. Zeus. So Jason, he had in the gold medal game, he had Bar Bill and Anchor Bar. I had Bar Bill over B-Dubs. Jason had B-Dubs for the silver over Duff, and I had Duff's over Dwyer's. And then in the C Cup, the biggest cup, really, I had Anchor Bar beating my team, Gabe's Gate. And Jason also agreed that my team was going to be in last place. Gabe's Gate getting beat by Dwyer's. So we actually had some. That's what I like about the 6 ones, because we always get a little bit of a different feel for this thing. Okay, I know which jersey was your favorite. It was B-Dubs. It was also mine. Which one was your least favorite?
Probably yours, Gabe's Gate.
Yeah,
like,
mine too.
Not my favorite.
Mine too. And somehow here I am. Not on the good one, on the good looking jersey on the bad. But you know what? You got to take the good and the bad. I got the Grizzlies in Alaska. By the way, boys, let me just tell you here. Where can I get a pop-up chat here? Just so I can scroll down here. And if you guys go to this link, if you're just a Facebook user, someone just said B-Dubs, I agree with you wholeheartedly. If you click that link, we'll be able to see who you are chatting with us, really. Those were our picks. Before we get into that, I want to tell you where we're going to be this week. We're going to be in the greatest BLPA state city in the world, Columbus, Ohio. Per capita, the biggest. Hey, this is stats. I'm pulling stats. Per capita, the biggest glob of BLPA supporters in the world are in Columbus, Ohio, and which actually really lines up, because I was also looking at other stats about Columbus. They're also considered the smartest city in the United States. So okay. I can see where that lines up, where they would be the smartest people, and they would also be the most supporting city of the BLPA. So we're gonna go there. I'm super stoked for our bar. Are you coming to Columbus?
I unfortunately could not pull off the trip to Columbus. It would be my 3rd weekend in a row doing a tournament, and you're just got to take a break. I not all of us can be you, Nick, right? Like if everyone could be you, there'd be more yous out there.
And you know what? And the world would be a lot better place. It would be a caring place. It would be a kind and sensitive place. And that's what the world needs. Kind, caring, sensitivity. That's what it needs right now.
Yeah. But no, I'm not going to be able to make it to Columbus this weekend, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, the good thing is we'll have a pretty good pre-show, because we'll have all. I mean, God damn it, I'm going to have to bring on that second-rate show host, the round table. I'm going to have to bring them on to the pre-prediction show, and basically they're going to be wrong because they're not us, right?
Well, maybe you could once the rounds are done, send me a picture and dial me in, and I'll just go off of what I see on paper. Maybe
Okay.
I can throw some predictions in there too.
So you'll basically do me because you were taking notes in Buffalo on your, like, you're taking this serious. Like, you're like, I'm taking it serious. And that would, like, I can see that from, because you're a money liner. You're always betting.
100%.
I'm betting with my heart. I don't, facts, stats, that stuff doesn't matter. I just, whatever's in my heart is what I'm going with. And so, so I'll bring those guys on in Columbus. And then we actually have a very unique week off in between that because we had to cancel Eagle River. Womp, womp, womp. And then you're going to DC.
Yeah.
MC 1B.
Yeah.
And MC 1A will be in Canmore. And then we'll probably cross paths again in Charleston.
100%.
And that's going to be a wild time. And then Minnesota is the weekend after that. And then Austin, and then Vegas. And I'm going to ask some listeners in here, who wants to go to Vegas? Who wants to come to the Vegas decks? And you know what? You're already going. You're already in. But we're doing decks giving, and I got some decks giving winners that can't go. So basically, they said give it away on your show. Give a couple Las Vegas entries. Now they would have to pay for the hotel, of course, but give them a couple entries for free. And so, I'm going to ask John Andre to give the person that that he feels best represents the show here to give one away free. But we did this last week, and John bailed on us. Remember?
Yeah, so, I do remember that.
So what are you going to do? Fucking John. Oh boy.
Fucking John.
Hey, you know what, Trev? If you listen, I love Trev, by the way. Trev Eiserhoff. Trev's he's kind of like a Jeff Peck, where he always says, like, move me down a couple rounds. I'm not that good. I'm getting old. And then he comes out and bust about 9 goals a tournament. He's that guy, but we love him. And so, Trev, if you want to come to Vegas, you can have the Dex giving spot. You just have to pay for the hotel, and I'll even give one to your brother or Big Earn. All right, I'll give you 2 of them, and you guys can split the hotel room, and away we go. So you message me privately, Trev. But here's the deal: you're not going to trick me. You're not going to say it's been a while since you see me play. You put me in a lower round, and then I do, and you light me up for 10. I've seen that. I've seen it before. That's the same story. So, hey, do you like jelly beans?
Turn it up. Be a beauty. Listen, subscribe, rate, and review. Let's get it.
They're okay.
I love jelly beans, and I'm addicted to them right now.
Yeah, like I feel like it's either people like love them or like hate them, and I'm kind of just in the middle. I'm like
Hey, talk for 1 second. I'm gonna grab this bag of jelly beans because I got something to show you.
Okay, yeah. So again, for me, jelly beans, like could go with them, could go without them. Doesn't affect me one way or another.
Okay, here's the deal. As you guys saw, those donuts that we had on Sunday were the worst, most ridiculous donuts ever, right? They were just, and I basically said, I'm going to eat one because I can't get diabetes twice. I'm already diabetic. So look at this thing right here. Great. 2 pounds jelly beans. I just travel around with this. But let me see. Where's this motherfucking flavor out here? I want to know why they've got this goddamn flavor. And
is it buttered popcorn? Because that one smells like feet.
Yes, it's buttered popcorn and toasted marshmallow. Both of those, the most disgusting thing I've ever. Like I literally, like when I was in Alaska, I had one of these bags. And I literally would get so mad. Like I'd just grab a handful while I was working on photos or something. And if I bit into one of those, I'd just throw it on the floor. Yeah. Black licorice too. Who the fuck eats black licorice? You have to be a wild man. You got to have something up in your head wrong with you. Goalies probably eat black licorice. That's what I think. Yeah. And you know what? Big Dad loves black licorice, and he plays goalie. So it checks out, right? So, but okay, tell me, what was your favorite part about this Buffalo tournament? Outside the chicken wings.
Well, I don't know if I can say my favorite moment yet because it might give away, some things that we need to talk about.
Okay.
But listen, I really enjoyed the people of Buffalo. There was a lot of Buffalo represented. The rink was awesome. We had it to ourselves. They had a great bar inside the rink as well. So I just thought the setup in general, I know some people were complaining because it was a little bit outside of Buffalo. I don't mind that because I'm traveling anyway, so I don't care if it's right downtown or not. But yeah, I thought our setup was great.
One reason why the BOPA Roundtable is a second-rate show is because they have Trash Can Dan on there, who, by the way, I met Trash Can Dan's mom, and she agreed with our assessment of Trash Can Dan. Whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
But she also told me that she thinks I'm one of the funniest guys ever from listening to our podcast. She literally loves me. And I just want to say shout out Trash Can Dan's mom.
Yeah, I heard her say that, so
100%.
It can't even be refuted.
Dan's mom loves me.
Yeah, just listen. It was an interesting weekend because I also had, speaking of the second rate show, I had Kyle Peck's wife say that she was going to marry me.
You mean Kyle, Big Dad's wife?
I mean, sorry, Big Dad's wife say that Brooke say she was going to marry me, and then I had Dan's girlfriend also say she was going to marry me. So essentially, I stole the significant others of two people from the second rate show, which makes sense.
It makes sense because the significant others want to be with winners, number one show people, right? Look at it. Like right. I'm eating some jelly beans now, and I got one, and I don't know if this is going to
buttered popcorn.
Listen, sure. I don't know if it's going to be butter popcorn. It could be French vanilla, or it could be toasted marshmallow. So here we're going to try it. Get out of here! Get out of here, butter popcorn.
I could look at it just from here and tell you it was butter popcorn.
The butter popcorn on the package is yellow with white specks. That was white with a little bit of yellow tinge. See, they fuck me every time. I try to look at the back. Oh, fuck butter. Why would they put that in a jelly bean of fruit flavors?
It tastes and smells like feet.
Yeah.
It's not even that like you said, it's a odd taste to complement the other ones. But apart from that, it just tastes bad also. Like, it's just not good.
But why would you put in buttered popcorn with, here's the fruit flavors: Island Punch, Juicy Pear, Mixed Berry Smoothie, Tutti Fruity. Why would you put in a fucking buttered popcorn into that?
I don't know.
Like, what are they? I've tweeted them. I tried to start a tweet with them and say, what the fuck are you thinking? Like, why would you put that in with it? Like, what happened is I think Mr. Jelly Belly probably loved buttered popcorn. Like he sat around and ate, and they're like, we're gonna pay homage to Mr. Jelly Belly. He used to just love buttered pop. Well, listen, motherfuckers, just make a bag of buttered popcorn shit and sell it, and it'll sit on shelves for years. Don't try to mix in this shit. Or he probably made them himself, and they're just trying to get rid of them. Like he made so many because he liked them. Wow, gross.
Quit forcing it on us.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I want the fruit. I get jelly beans because I like fruity flavors.
Yeah. Listen, you don't have my consent to put buttered popcorn in my jelly beans anymore.
Exactly. So now we're going to cancel you if you keep doing it. That's what we're going to do. The BOPA will cancel you for putting buttered popcorn jelly beans in our stuff.
100%.
Nonetheless, I digress. So the rink was awesome.
Yeah.
And why I brought up Dan is because Dan was telling us how much trash this place was. Like, it wasn't trash. Like, he was talking about how dangerous it was. And I'm like, I never felt danger. I walked to the canal.
Never.
I walked to the Erie Canal and checked it out. There's an Erie Canal. They just made a fucking canal. Big ass fucking lakes around. They made a canal to move goods up and down. Pre-Civil War, they used to give people rides up and down that shits. It's not unsafe.
I didn't feel unsafe at all. Now there were some areas around that, like a sketchy gas station here or there or whatever, but like it's pretty normal.
And to be honest
anywhere,
with you,
right?
They probably had some great crack in that gas station, so they served its purpose. Probably had good beef jerky. That's usually where you find the beef jerky. Like, people are like, hey, listen, sketchy gas station, these mainstream gas stations, they won't sell my beef jerky. But here's what we'll do. We'll work on a consignment. I'll give it to you, and you just pay me per bag you sell. That's usually where you find the good homemade stuff. I mean, that's just facts.
Yeah, for sure.
So, okay. So, as we move in here, let's just talk about our predictions.
Okay.
We were right on the worst team in the tournament.
Nailed it.
We nailed it. And I feel bad. I feel because I literally, on Saturday, after our first game, me and you were sitting in the bar. I'm having some of those root beer barbecue charred wings, which were fucking incredible. They were so good. I literally had them 4 times. I had 4 orders over the 2.5 days we were there. They were that good.
I had them twice.
They're so good. So basically, we were sitting there. There was a college football game on. Who was it? Purple. East Carolina?
East Carolina versus North Carolina State.
Yeah, and the
North Carolina State was ranked.
Yep.
East Carolina not.
East Carolina kicker comes down, misses the extra point to tie the game late.
2 minutes left.
And we're like, womp, womp, womp. Wow. And then they miraculously get the ball back, and they drive down the field, and they come up for, a 40-yard field goal?
42, I think, was the
I can make a
official.
42-yard field goal. Easy. That's no lie. I can make a 42-yard field goal. I can. I kick the fuck out of a ball.
I believe it.
And I'm right-handed, but I kick left-footed, and I got a fucking club. So, so here I am, and you say, I bet he misses it. I said, bud, listen, if I can club a ball 42 yards, this guy, I mean, he's a D1 athlete.
Yeah.
And you said, no, I saw him.
Actually, what happened was you and someone else were trying to make a bet, but you both wanted to bet that he was going to make it. And I said, whoa, I'll take both your bets, and I'll take that he's going to miss it.
Yeah. Now, I just want to go on record. I was one of the bettors. The other was a pretty girl. Okay. Now, here's what happened. He missed it. I paid my $10 right there.
Yeah.
The pretty girl did not pay her $10. She said
also paid up.
She said let me buy you a beer or something. I'm like, God, the beers are $3.50 here. So they drive back down the field, and I'm like, yeah, this guy, I can make a 42-yard field goal. This guy, for sure, D1 athlete, not missing. I'm sorry, it's not. This isn't like he's playing Alabama. Like, it's North Carolina State, for fuck's sakes.
But we got to put into perspective. The first one, the extra point he missed, he hooked it so far left. I think it was negative yardage.
But laces
it was like a 3-yard negative.
But to be fair, the laces were not out, and we know.
Correct, they were in. The laces in for sure.
And here's just to be on the record, I can kick a 42-yard field goal. I can also kick an extra point on the laces. So I should have thought about this before I made this bet, but here I am thinking like, okay, well, listen, lightning's not going to strike twice for North Carolina State. They're about to get upset. So we bet again. We bet it. We say, hey, I think he's going to make it. You said, no, he's going to miss it. Guy fucking missed it, and I got to pay $10. But I don't like losing money, but I like money lining. So I was like, I gotta get my $10 bet. And so I look over at Jason. I say, hey, I'll bet you $10. My team loses every single game this weekend. And you said, well, I think that's what's going to happen too. And I said, well, wait a second. Let me juice it up for you. I said, I'll give you 10-1 odds that my team will lose every game this weekend. And you said, like 10-1, like 100. And there was no hesitation.
I'm in.
You were like, anytime anyone gives me 10-1 odds, I'm taking it.
It's house money and it's 10-1 odds. Yeah, I'm in.
It was. I should have bet $20 at 10-1, but what I just wanted to get my $10 back. It was what I wanted. And so we made the bet, and then I started propagating around the buzz. It was a game of telephone that Nick bet against his team to lose every game.
Pete Rose was calling MLB to use you as an example to say, like, look, I'm not this scumbag.
Now, listen, in my defense, I was using it as a motivator for my team. All right.
Okay.
Like, hey, it's the team against the world. Like, even me, the guy leading your team onto the ice with raucous cheers of woo and whatever. Like, even I'm betting against us. And I think it's everybody, even me. It's us against the world and me. So what are we going to do about it? Thinking that I'm a master motivator, right? And so I'm like, okay, this will do something. Well, we lost game 2. We lost game 3. We lost game 4. And it comes down to game 5. The championship game against Dwyer. Now, by the way, sometime I'd add, if we would have won this game, we didn't, by the way, I would have argued that they didn't have their goalie in net.
And someone said that. Someone said to me in the bleachers, they said, if Nick wins this game, he's going to protest that they switched goalies.
I sure as hell wouldn't have. Okay, I would have.
And I said, I don't care. He's paying. If he loses, he's paying. I mean, if he wins, he's paying.
Caramel corn, another not good one, by the way.
Not great.
So here we are. Jason's watching. I can see him. Literally in the stands dancing to boy band music, and we take a 2-0 lead and chase the first spare goalie for another spare goalie.
Out.
And I'm like, God damn, I'm about to be out $100 here. And they tied up, and then they literally win it with an illegal goal.
Yeah.
Fourth goal by a ringer, which shouldn't have counted. So another.
And I was yelling that down. Hey, that's 4 for him. That's 4.
Yeah. Well, you wanted the $100. I wanted the dub to say my master motivation techniques work. And I said, listen, Tim. And he said, no, I told you that this guy had 2 and the other guy was maxed out or whatever. I said, the hell you did, bud. So I got to give Tim another. What are we giving another negative shout out?
Yeah, it's like seventh negative shout
7
out.
or 8
first one in
for doing this. And but anyway, we lost and I won my $10, but my team took the L again. So 0-5, Gabe's. So we both get 1 point for that.
Yep.
We both get a 1-pointer for that. But the team we beat, Dwyer's.
The team you lost to.
Yeah, the team we should have beat, but we didn't beat, and then whatever. And here's the deal. John Andre in the chat keeps saying Dwinning because Brad Dwin went 0-5 in Nashville, and they think that's funny. But but here's the deal. One thing that Brad Dwin does more than go 0-5 is tell everyone when he wins or does something good.
True.
All I've heard for the last few days is how John Andre won gold medal in. So I would say he's winning more than I am, to be honest with you. I would just, which would you rather have someone that never shuts up about how much they win, or someone that's angry when they lose?
Ugh.
Because if you add those together, that is Brad to win.
That's Brad to win. Those are both pet peeves of mine. I think I'd rather have the person who's always talking about winning, though. Like,
which is weird because that's you.
Yeah.
But it's one of your pet peeves.
Yeah.
You hate yourself. That's okay. But
yeah,
I love you.
A little bit of self-hatred.
Let me ask you this.
I actually talk about myself losing more than I talk about winning.
Yeah, you do. But you talk yourself down to make yourself look better. You do the whole under promise, over deliver. I do the opposite.
Yeah.
And listen, it's working for me. So whatever. All right. Yeah. So we got beat by Dwyer's, which you had in. So you get 2 points for that.
Woo.
I get no points.
Yeah.
All right. Second. The silver. You had B-Dubs and Duffs. Duffs was in the silver.
And they lost.
I also had them in the silver, beating Dwyer. So both of us got no points on that.
Okay.
You also get no points. No, wait. You got Duffs lost. That's right. You had B-Dubs beat. So you, goddamn. God, you motherfucker. I'm going to hear about this. Okay. Another 1 point for there. And then the championship game. Me and you both said Bar Bill would win this whole thing, but they didn't. They didn't even
make the goal.
Bar Bill was in silver, and that's who beat silver. Duff, right? Yep. And so you had Bar Bill beating Anchor Bar, and I had Bar Bill beating B-Dubs.
Yep.
Why don't you just go ahead and tell them how that gold medal fucking thing finished out?
Well, Anchor Bar certainly lost, so you can give me a point there.
God damn.
Where I got mixed up, though, was that B-Dubs took home the gold.
You motherfucker. Like, listen. Here's the deal.
So I won the gold, and I beat you for the week in points. It was a rough week for you.
But I got your money. I got my money back.
This is true. Yeah.
And I ate a lot of
Could you imagine if I won gold, took your $10, and beat you in the points for predictions?
I'd kick you off the show. So let's see. You got 2, 3, 5 points. That's a big fucking week. That's a big fucking week, bud. Hey, guess what? And I got one.
I don't want to brag too much, but not only did I get 5 points, I picked the 3 losers and the 3 winners. The only thing I mixed up was the gold and silver winners were swapped.
Yeah, but okay. And to be fair, you also took notes. Like I'm gonna start taking notes, bud. I'm gonna pre-note because everyone says I rig the drafts anyway. I'm gonna
definitely rigged the last one.
Yeah. Oh, you two championships in a row. You rigged it. Yeah, I sure rigged myself going 0-5 too. Yeah, because I'm brilliant. I'm a genius. Because I can't just rig myself for golds. I gotta rig myself for last place finishes too, just to make it look like I'm an even kill, right? So I'm gonna rig it. I'm gonna make my selections before, and then I'm gonna rig the draft to where it actually plays out like that. And I'm gonna look like a genius. I'm never wrong.
Listen, you can't be mad at me for being prepared.
I'm not mad.
Yeah,
I'm just saying it's off brand.
I was in there note taking.
I'm saying it's off brand is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Right. How can I take notes on the microphone? Is it like when I go, hold on 1 second. This is 1 + 1 2 17. War. I can't do that on the microphone. It's just it's unfair. Maybe I'll hire someone.
Okay.
They'll take notes for me.
Do what you gotta do.
Yeah, big cat Jeff lock of the week right here. Now, here's the question that came out this weekend. Obviously, we answered one, and that's that B-Dubs is the best wing in Buffalo.
Best wing in Buffalo.
Logically first, because logically, the best of anything is going to let's talk about COVID and the variants. The most fittest, best variant is going to propagate itself all around the world. That's what BA5 is doing right now. That's why it's on top, right?
Yeah.
So, the best wing that is going to propagate itself in the most places, and Buffalo Wild Wings is everywhere. So that's got to be, and so we proved it logically, and then we took it to the ice to back up our logical proof, and we proved it on the ice too. And I don't know what else to say.
I don't either. I rest my case.
Or my case. Yeah.
Yeah. Both of our cases.
Our cases are rested.
Listen, there's another case that we're going to have to rest maybe for another day. And it propped up while we were in Buffalo on the state of the best pizza, because me and you also agree on this. And there's much debate. So we don't have to settle it today.
It's Connecticut. No,
there's no question.
But here's the thing on pizza.
What's your second favorite style?
I just like thin crust. I like thin crust pizza, and I'm an easy dude. But if you give me a thin crust with a good sauce, cheese and pepperoni, I'm set, bud.
See, I do like a thick crust if it's done properly. I like Detroit style next. The square, nice, crispy.
It's thick.
Yeah.
I guess I've never had Detroit, but here's what I'm gonna do. Just
have you had Jet's Pizza?
No. Just for you.
Oh my goodness.
Listen, okay. I've had Detroit pizza. I've had Little Caesars. I guess I've completely lost my mind. That's where Little Caesars.
Not that one.
Oh, okay.
A different Detroit pizza.
Oh, okay. For you, here's what I got. Tomorrow, I fly from Calgary to Toronto, and I'm a fucking idiot. I don't know why I did this. Save money. I know why I did it. Because who the fuck cares about my time? Let me just fly to Toronto and then drive. But I also didn't think I was going to have to drive to Columbus this past weekend and then back to Buffalo. So I'm flying to Toronto tomorrow, and I got to drive to Columbus. Now, there's two ways I can take. I can go right over Niagara Falls, and I can go down Buffalo. It's about 6 hours, 5 hours and 47 minutes. Or I can take it through Detroit, and it's an extra 15 minutes or something like that. And I can get some Detroit pizza and let you know. Okay,
so I'll look up there's a pizza place. It's whatever the area code of Detroit is. That's what it's called. Whatever. Pizza.
Everybody from the 313, put your motherfucking hands up and do like me. Yeah, 8
maybe
miles.
It is 313.
I know. Yeah.
But that's the one you need to try.
Yeah, and notice while he stands tough. Notice the motherfucker did not have his hands up.
Have his hands up.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's Clarence, by the way.
Yeah, and Clarence has both parents.
And Clarence's parents have a real good marriage.
A real good marriage. Yeah.
I think I wrote a blog about this. I wrote a blog about this one time about which was the best rap battle in there. And so, maybe I'll find that. So I will find that. But here, there's a place in Chicago that Carlo was telling me about. It's called Nick's Tavern or something, and it already has a great name. But it's a thin crust pizza, and I think next time I go to Chicago, I gotta try that because I don't like deep dish pizza. I just don't. It's just not my thing. It's too much bread.
Well, Detroit style is not like Chicago deep dish, but it is a lot of bread. So you may not like it, but I think you got to try it. It's crispy. It's not soggy like a lot of thick crust is. It's still crispy. So it's good.
And I support my friends. And so I will support Chicago pizza because of Frank, because I know Frank is a big Chicago pizza guy, and I'm sure Joe, and shout out Michael Cosentino and the whole Cosentino family. I'm sure that those guys, I mean, when you support the BLPA on PayPal, I'm going to support your pizza. Or on Patreon, sorry, patreon.com/the BLPA. Which, by the way, VIP jersey I'm wearing right here. But here's the big question. Here's the big question. Here we go. Someone's already, see you later, Mike. Someone's already chirping about fucking pictures in here. Just give it some time, Mark. Give it some time. I've been on the road every week since then. I do have other priorities. I'll get them. I guarantee you'll have some. Well, everyone else but you will have some after this flight from Toronto. Another 4 hours, so I'll have them knocked out. But anyway.
There you go.
God, I hate pictures. I love taking pictures and hate taking pictures because this is my art. I'm an artiste, you know. People want to rush the art. They just want to rush. They want it now. It's just a. You
want to paint me like one of your French models? Yeah,
it's just like just like one of those things. It's like instant gratification. It's like, listen, you can get a quick handy at a fucking glory hole, or you can go get the best handy of your life by waiting a little bit and, you know, finding a nice house of ill repute that can really take care of you.
So what you're saying is you give out the best handies?
That's what I'm saying, that when it comes to pictures, yeah, I give out the best handies. Okay. That's what I'm trying to say.
Got it.
And John's right. He just said negative. Nick is busy driving around the world to grab gear. I sometimes I have full free days. I plan these on my trips so I can get some shit done.
Yeah.
So I thought last week on Thursday, I took the 1 a.m. flight out of Calgary to Toronto so I would have the whole day free in Buffalo to get a bunch of work stuff done. But little did I know that I would then have to drive all the way to Columbus and back to pick up stuff needed to run this tournament. So I basically lost a whole day of work. I don't like it. And I'm not going to point any fingers. I'm not going to talk about a second-rate podcast show and someone that hosts sparsely these days. I'm not going to talk about that at all. Oh, there we go. Someone just did. I don't even have to. Yep. Negative shout out to Peckers. That's number 2 on the record for him. We should keep track of negative shout outs. Keep a little leaderboard going. So there was one question, the dying question of the podcast. You know, we give Peck a lot of shit on this show. It's Jeff Peck. Everyone loves Jeff Peck, right? And remember, like, whenever he'd say, I'm not a ringer, you can't put me in the ring around, and then he'd go off and pop 20 points and talk about, oh, well, that doesn't make me a ringer, blah, 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 blah. But Peck puts up points. Good hockey player.
Yeah. He
has some glaring holes in his game. And this comes from a guy that probably should be an NHL scout, me. And the holes are, there's no defensive side of his game. He doesn't come back past the blue line. Doesn't need to. He relies on the toe drag too much. He can pass, but he doesn't want to pass. And that's basically Peck's game. And so after watching John Andre this weekend light up the fucking stat sheet, bud, the question of the day is, who would you rather have on your team? Would you rather have Jeff Peck or John Andre? Now listen, here's the deal. There's a trade. Like, I'm going to put them in the same round. In Columbus, they're going to be in the same round. You know, we're going to find out. And guess what? They're going to be in the round right after Big Dad. And
now he has to pick.
And Big Dad has to choose between his old BFF, Jeff Peck, and his new BFF, John Andre. So
I am gonna miss the drama in Columbus.
Are you sure? Are you sure you can't tell Kate that, hey, this is going down, and I need to be a part of it?
If I could, I would.
Listen, if I know one thing about wives, they love drama.
Yeah, they do.
And yeah. So I mean, let's just talk about, like, who would you rather have on your squad? And I can tell you someone that I wouldn't want on my squad.
Okay.
And
so I got my pick ready. Yeah, if you want me to go.
Let me tease it up. Pretend like you're thinking about it.
Okay.
I had to tell the boys at the other show too, like, hey, we can't dog on customers. We just can't dog it. That's not what these shows are for. But sometimes you have to call something out that's so egregious, so offensive, and so utterly wrong that people just need to know that shit doesn't need to happen. Okay? So my team was 0-5, and we took it in stride. Shit happens. There were so many new people here, and it was a new thing, and we had some misratings, and that happens at every draft. Like if I don't know them, it's hard to get a read. You can just take people's word at it. But usually what happens is all the misratings don't end up on the same team. And that is basically what happened to these bottom two teams. Like us and Dwyer's, we struggled this weekend, and that happens. Like I just won 2 in a row, right? So to me, cool. And I get it. Like I had to stand up after the tournament and say to both these locker rooms, if this was my first tournament and I'd never been here, I wouldn't ever want to come back. Wouldn't have been fun. I get it. But just know this is not the norm. Does it happen? Yeah, it happens. It's just the nature of the draft. But if you give it another shot, your next one will be a completely different experience, right? I take it for granted because I get to play in them every weekend. So for me, an 0-5 isn't a big deal. But if I was only playing him 1 or 2 a year, an 0-5 would suck. It would suck. The goalie for the other team, after the 4th game, was so pissed off. He said, I'm fucking out of here. I'm tired of it. I got people here that can't play defense. This is trash. He threw his jersey in the trash can and stormed out of there.
Yep.
And then basically,
like he was on a back-to-back. He had just finished. He was going to play the next game, which would have been the bronze championship. He stormed off the ice, took his shit off, threw his jersey away, and left. And said, I'm going home.
Yeah, exactly. And so what I'm coming to say is, I don't know if the guy had something else going on or if he was just frustrated about losing. Again, I understand all of that. But these guys battled with you. Maybe not to the results you wanted, but they were with you for all 4 of those games. Like to dirty bell on them like that in the last game is kind of shitty. Probably not the type of attitude or people that we want at our events. As a matter of fact, I've had people that were at the tournament that said they would have just fought them in the dressing room, which I respect that, but I don't want fighting. But it's just a bad look on you. Like 4 games, and at the end of the day, we're beer leaguers. Our competitive days really are behind us. And Matt's asking how were the locker rooms for the bottom teams otherwise? In my locker room, it was great. It was our ringers, our 2 better players were kind of bummed after the first couple games, especially with the ringer rule where you can only score 3, because of the first 3 games, only 1 goal was scored by someone other than our ringer. And he just had to stop, right? He just had to stop playing. And I told him, I said, here's the deal, bud. There's no penalty. There's no penalty if you score more than 3. So just keep scoring. And guess what will happen? We'll know that we beat him, but it just won't show up on the scoreboard. And after that, he was like, okay. He never scored more than 3, but he was just like, okay, cool. I get it. Like, cool. And then he completely bought in the rest of the tournament, and he was a great dude and, always talking up the lower guys and trying to get him in the best place. And so our locker room vibe was great. Danny Vibes, Trash Can Dan, was in the other one with this goalie. He wasn't in there when the goalie stormed out, but he said his locker room outside of that time was just cool, right? It was just plain easy. So I think that's about where it was. But so who would you take? John, Andre, Jeff Peck?
Listen,
and Jeff Peck or John Andre cannot get. This is not a personal. We like both of you guys. No. We might like one of you more than the other. We're just not going to say that to your face.
I have sound reasoning.
Okay, let's hear it.
Jeff Peck has never showed up late to a tournament game.
Oh, you're going the other way. Okay.
John Andre showed up second period of our first game on day 1. Listen, bud, I told him on the ice, in this league, we show up on time. We show up on time in this league.
Yeah, why weren't you at Dryland, bud? He does miss games. I didn't even think about it. When I was putting my self-assessments and looking at all this stuff, I did not factor that into, because you might draft him and he might not show up on Saturday.
He might not. So I'm taking Jeff Peck.
Okay. I'm going to just take the other. You made it easy for me for argument. I'm going to take John Andre, and here's why. Here's the only reason why. I love Jeff Peck. I do. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Jeff Peck is my boy. This has nothing to do with how I personally feel about Jeff Peck. He doesn't pass to me. Have I missed one pass that he made? The only pass he's ever made to me in the history? Yes. I'll fully admit. Yes, I have. I missed that, and it was a beauty one-timer in the slot. And I should have caught it and then shot it. But I tried to one time it, and to be honest with you, not the strength of my game. It's just not. And then that's the only time he's ever passed me. There's been times where he's had 3 people on me and I'm in the corner. Pack, open, corner, down low. No, and he just tries to dangle him and goes the other way. And listen, that's just Peck's game. But I like a good sound player that, will pass if you're open. Yeah. And I saw John on a couple 2-on-1s, 3-on-1s, and looking past first. He shot still, okay. But at least he was looking. At least he was looking that way. And so I think, I would take John Andre.
Okay.
Over and I didn't time John Andre's shifts, but I've timed Jeff Peck's, and I wouldn't want to be the guy changing in that position, to be honest with you. Like if Jeff Peck's like, I'm gonna play center, I'm like, well, there's 5 other positions. I'll play goalie. There's 5 other positions out here that I'll play, so I can get a little ice time,
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, I mean, I think it's good for argument's sake for sure.
So listeners, would you rather have long shift taken, no passing, toe drag aficionado Jeff Peck, or would you rather have a guy that styles his game after Peck, no defensive zone coverage, no toe drags, but he hustles from the blue line to the goal line into his offensive zone, and he scores every bit as much, but passes? Which would you rather have? So are you on team?
But may not show up to a game or two.
You're right. But when he does show up, he's always happy.
That's true.
Peck is grumpy sometimes, little grumpy pants. He's got little grumpy pants going on sometimes. So what do you want? Are you on team Jason here, and you're going to take Peck, or are you on the right team, Team Nick, and take John Andre? It's up to you. Let us know, and we'll put this in a poll, right? And John Andre, should John Andre be a ringer? Is the next question.
Okay, I like that.
So, and I'm getting a shout out here to our ringer. We did have the best ringer of the weekend
for sure. Best player on the ice.
He was good. Like what I don't understand when I look at players like this, and I see a guy going 20% and just better than everyone else on the ice, and then you ask him like, where did you play? Oh, I just played high school, and then I went and ran like D1 track, and then I came back to hockey. And you think about how good he is in that, and then you think, how good do the people have to be that
to go past that,
way past that, right? And you're just like, fuck, because when they skate, there's no effort.
Effortless. It's just I'm just out here,
and like it's like one stride.
And meanwhile, I'm like,
I'm like a fucking freight train. I got fucking charcoal stacks coming out of my head, just trying to fucking transition from forwards to backwards on defense. Which, by the way, if I'm your defenseman without Jason as the best shutdown defensive duo in Dex history, if it's just me back there, your team's gonna struggle that weekend, to be honest. But I did play some good D. You did. My favorite part of the whole weekend was Big Dad in the championship.
Yeah. Like there was a couple of good lines.
Like, shoot the fucking puck, shoot it. Like he just wanted him to shoot because they'd come down and try to pass it to him. And then there was one time where he gets into the zone and it's him, the only person. Guys were,
and us 5. Yeah, us 5 are all around him.
And he's just looking. Someone fucking come and help me, please.
And you can hear it clear as day on the ice.
Oh, someone help me, please. And it just, but hey, Big Dad's a hell of a player too. But we already have people on Team Nick. Phantom goals. I like that. I'd be taking John over Peck. John torched us on Sunday. So I've already got, no one's taking Peck but you, bud. I even got a Peck his crap in here.
Listen,
so
I don't need the approval of everyone else. I can go to the beat of my own drum.
Listen, hey, me too. But when I start beating the drum, people follow. And that's all I'm trying to say. All right. Okay. One bite, everybody knows the rules, all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
People just buy into that shit. All right. Well, anything else to add before we go here?
No. Great time in Buffalo. Thanks to the rink and all the, is it Buffalonians for
Buffalites?
Buffalites.
Buffa plugs. That's what a bunch of them scares look like.
Oh, and shout out to B-Dubs, the best wing in Buffalo.
Hey, a huge shout out, B-Dubs. Asian Zing, Chipotle Barbecue, Desert Heat. They got
so many great choices.
So But also shout out to the ring, the penalty box, or what is it? Is that what it's called? Penalty box,
yeah.
With those root beer barbecue chart. I mean, those were something else, bud.
Those were almost B-dubs, but almost.
And RDI with those wings. Those wings were pretty good too. They had some good wings. And listen, I talked a lot of shit about Buffalo and not allowing ranch. They've changed their ways. Ever since I went there that first time to Duff's and they basically shut me down, I had to smuggle. They're now way more, what's 2022, right? Diversity for all. Yeah. Love everyone. Love every condiment is basically what we're doing. So they were very open with the ranch. No one made fun of me. If my ranch jersey would have been washed, I'd be wearing it on the show this weekend. But other than that, guys, really appreciate you guys being here and supporting the official show of Beer Leaguers and the BLPA, the only sponsored show on the BLPA, way better than any second-rate show you'll ever find. The BLPA Big Show. Shout out to the Roundtable. Go give those guys a listen. But you can't because they haven't got me a logo so I can upload them on iTunes. So really, they're shooting their own selves in the foot. I can only lead a horse to water. I can only make so many people famous.
Or a deer. Either one.
Yeah, or a deer. I can only lead people to water. That's all I can do. I can lead to water, push them in. That's basically it. Anything else to add before?
No, that's it.
Hey guys, hey, VIP box subscribers, you're gonna want to jump on this. I'm just telling you because you're gonna miss out and it's gonna be sad, and I'm gonna be sad for you. But there's not much I can do if you're not a VIP subscriber. You just go to beerleagueplayers.com, check it out. Me and Jason, we got new merch just fucking bubbling up. Going to start one day, and it's going to be fire too. Someone asked, is DC almost full? It is. We have one skater spot, one goalie spot left for DC. Only a 4-team tournament. We're not getting that guy to 6. So other than that, guys, if you want to support us without VIP, patreon.com/theblpa. If you want to support us without giving us any money, that's cool too. Just like and share our shit, basically. Come to the tournaments, play hockey with us, do all the good things. So you'll hear me. Maybe you'll hear Jason on the pre-show for Columbus. It's going to be a good one, though. If you're going to be in Columbus, I'll see you Thursday night. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Dustin Tycon. Big-ass Dustin, big, tall Dustin. That's what we'll call him, big, tall Dustin. His birthday is Thursday night. We'll be at our bar having beers, so come out to our bar, celebrate. I'll buy you a beer. Oh, I'll say I'll buy you a beer, but then I'll run out on the tab. But other than that, guys, thanks for joining us. We love you. We appreciate your support. Hopefully we'll see you out soon. Be good or be good at it. See ya. And done. There we go. We're done. All right. Sorry I didn't get 40 minutes. We got 53. So close.
That's all right.
Wow, that's a lot of Patron there in the background, bud.
Yeah, it's coffee Patron.
Oh man, that looks good. What's the other one?
It's like a certain rum from the Dominican Republic. It's
really
good.
Some Dominican rum.